How's it going? Welcome back to Chris's Comments. Show about common sense on common ground, no matter what the subject. Not many people out there doing this kind of thing. They're having podcasts and stuff, and they're all pretty much going with some certain extreme point of view. We're right, you're wrong. We're right, they're wrong. If you agree with them, you're what's wrong with this country and we're doomed. Other people saying there's right, there's wrong. We're going to fix the rights. And if you don't want to, you're what's wrong with this country and we're all doomed. And all this other garbage. In between both of those two extreme viewpoints, you got people like you and me. Common sense, down-to-earth people with one real thing to live for. One real mission in life. To live happy with as little headaches as possible. Speaking of which, I got a couple of subjects to go with today, and I'm going to zip through them real fast. The reason for this is because so many people are going through so many extremes. This here is an opinion, a commentary done by a ordinary worker, no differently than you and I. To show that, everybody's going through extremities. Nobody's really going down to earth. And this is the proof right here. If there's anyone to see what I'm talking about, it would be this one here. Now, on to the subjects. First off, the border crisis. Technically, there's still border concerns. Not really a crisis. You got the haters saying that there's nobody showing up for the trials, and that they, that it's a complete waste of time to tend to them. The fact of the matter is that they're not even being issued a trial. They're just being deported. They're being sent to Mexican embassies, even if they're not from Mexico. But Mexico is the country that they last passed through. So by law, the Biden administration, just like any other presidential administration since 1943, I think, or 1944 maybe, the Biden administration, as well as any other president administration, has every right to do so, to send them back to an embassy through the previous country that they were in, Mexico being the country that they were last in before making it to the border. It's not a lot that's being sent, but at the same time, it's not everybody just being pushed over to one side. The current administration is handling everything responsibly, one step at a time, no matter how long it looks like it's going to be taking. And it looks like it's taken forever. But, that's just their thing, And that's what those of us down here are looking at. Something that's going on in Florida. Now, I used to live in Florida. I lived there for about 4.5 years, and in Tampa. And somewhere around there's a toxic wastewater leak that's being taken place. Contaminated water, non-potable water is being dumped out into the coast. It contains heavy amounts of nitrogen and heavy amounts of ammonia. Two very serious ingredients that could be doing some serious damage, to the ecosystem around there. I mean, let alone the aquatic life. This could be a pretty big problem, because it's just not safe. It's not, it's poisoning. But they're being dumped out there because there's an overflow that might be taking place. It could lead up to a 200-foot wall of water. I don't think that it's 200 feet high, just FYI. I think they mean length. But seeing as how that's 200 feet, that's a pretty long length. It could be a little wall. That's going to be a big damage. There's 330 million gallons that needs to be dumped, needs to be pulled out of this reservoir and thrown into the ocean. Right now, I think they're at 17. Excuse me for the little burp. And it's possible What's going to be a real big concern is that if it floods over and not enough water is being pulled out and dumped into the ocean, this water floods over its reservoir, covers a whole mess load of land. It's going to be flooding and knocking out a natural gas facility. A natural gas facility with pipes that come out of it stretching 745 miles across Florida. 745 miles of Floridian land that's going to be knocked out in lack of gas because of the gas facility, the natural gas facility that's there, that'll be hit by that 200-foot wall. I mean, it's going to knock out power and energy for several millions of residents over there. And that's something that we've got to really pay attention to right now. You know, let the people at the border do their thing. Take a look at what's going on right now. We had floods in Tennessee. So far, everything was been handled as far as I could tell, as far as the media is covering, as far as anybody's letting everybody know. It's being tackled. It was tackled very well. The challenge of rebuilding and letting the floods drain out and the cleanup and everything. But here we have another possible threat. It's a threat right now. This is an actual crisis. We're looking at a possibility of, I think they said 3 million people without power because of an overflooding of a reservoir that contains nitrogen and ammonia in it, which of course is just going to be a very big bad reaction to the land around it, and is currently being dumped into the Gulf. It's being dumped into the ocean, you know, in hopes to saving everybody on land, regardless of the fact that it's doing some serious damage to it's going to be doing some serious damage to the water, the coast. I mean, it's a tourist state, so you know it's not going to be a good idea. I mean, who's going to want to send their family? Come on, kids, let's go to the beach in Florida and run into the water and come out with, like, you know, 3 eyeballs, you know, or 1 eyeball, the Cyclops, right around, you know. If not, just plain get chemically sick from the chemicals that have been dumped in there, which on a serious level, it's that's something to be more concerned over. You know, I'm jokingly exaggerating about the 3-eyed or 1-eyed rearrangement. But, gosh, you know, that would actually be something compared to the ugly reality that we know of what's actually going to happen with that being dumped into with that non-potable water, contaminated non-potable water being tossed into the ocean. Look, the people over there, they will survive. I do know that, since it's being dumped out into the coast anyway. They're just going to have to think of a different way other than tourist money to make money. You know, maybe they can, you know, start their own eBay or something, you know, and make themselves an Amazon town, you know, who knows. The thing is this also brings up a very serious topic that a lot of people find so taboo and wish to demonize and all this good stuff. And that's regulations. Regulations and deregulations. That state has been Republican for as long as I can remember, for the time that I was been over there back in the early 90s as a kid. And deregulation was serious over there. Deregulation is like its middle name, you know. That's another way of saying Florida. They've always had crap wages for, crap jobs. They've always had the poorest education system. I was there for high school, my last 2 years of high school, when my father uprooted us and moved us over there. So my skills never really developed. Not while I was over there. But this is the price to pay for it. You got this lack of control, lack of concern, lack of responsibility. What did you think was going to happen? You have to do your filtrations. You have to do your cleansings, your cleanings, and your purifications in order to get the good water back and find a way to get rid of the bad water. Nitrogen and ammonia. I mean, you could liquid fusion those two separately and have a fantastic supply for whoever uses those two ingredients. But that's not what took place. Not over there in Florida. Over there in Florida, it's actually a lot worse. It's a very serious circumstance that has been developed and is now going to become a crisis, if not already is a crisis, because they're right now they're in control. Right now, there's no actual, not even ecological damage. Not yet. But what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen once that does take effect? They're going to be crying. Well, where's the president? Where's Biden? No differently than they did during the Obama administration. We had that oil leak in the Gulf. We had that hurricane up in New Jersey, and there was Governor Christie. Well, where's Obama to fix this? You had all the people in the Gulf and every single southern state, including my own damn Texas state. Whoa, where's Obama? Why isn't he fixing this? And of course, this is exactly what we're going to be expecting once this takes place over here with the water crisis. And the only good thing to say about that is that it's not going to be swept under the rug or pushed over to the side like the way everything was during the Trump administration. No, everything's fine. And then have Trump come over and toss a couple of toilet papers or paper towels, and then the rest of the U.S. is then led to believe that everything's okay. It's it's messed up. That's more messed up than looking at something eventually getting done after the state leaders go, whoa, where's the president? Because eventually something will be getting done, if not the entire problem being fixed. But we down here at the shallow end of the pool, those of us in the working class have to deal with the high cost of living, who are too busy working to protest and wave some kind of banner. Those of us that are working for a living, we're also looking at what is going on. And that's exactly what we're expecting. I'd put money on it. I would bet money on it that's all that's going to happen. Should that overflow be too much, and should not enough water be pumped out, should anything be affected, if not just a spill, if not just an overflow spill. Let's say it doesn't reach that natural gas facility, knocking out power for 3 million or plus people, for 745 miles a distance. Let's say it gets thinned out once it's in the Gulf Coast. Let's say that all the nitrogen and ammonia gets thinned out by the sea coast, by the Gulf Coast or whatever, and breaks everything down and all this good stuff. It's the simple fact that there's something there that all the fish and sea life are going to be moving away. So something's going to get affected by this, something's going to get affected by this. You could still put real money on the simple fact that the politicians are going to say, well, where's the president? And then to top it all off, go straight back into denial. No, we don't need to be regulated. We don't need to be looked after. You know, you can put real money on this. But that's the spiel over there. Florida, you know, I used to live there. I revisited Florida a couple of times, just for old time's sake. Even met a few friends from the past, and it was, you know, it's real nice. But they seriously need to be regulated. They seriously need to be sought after. No differently than the people here in Texas that messed up our electrical grid, ERCOT. You know, they need to be taken care of big time also. So far, it's looking like every corporation is still getting their way with saying that it's not true, that we had everything under control, that there is no mess. You don't see anything. You don't see it. There is no mess. Denial seems to be a real big thing with these corporations these days, as are the politicians whom they shake hands with. Speaking of denial, oh my God, people, my viewers here, my fellow YouTubers, this Matt Gaetz guy needs to go. This Matt Gaetz guy and that Greenberg guy, who's I mean, dude, there's cash apps and receipts in their phones, in their emails, transactions, recorded transactions of these guys sending as much as $1,000 to minors, to teenage girls, to minors. You know what I'm saying? $1,000. I'll send you $1,000. Just make sure to come over here at this hotel. And they're saying that on their emails and their texts and all this stuff. Both of these guys, it's not just Gaetz, it's this Greenberg guy too, whoever he is. Well, technically I know who he is, I just forgot his actual title. But he's up there shaking hands. He's not a politician. He's up there shaking hands. He's like a government service worker. And he's there shaking hands with Gaetz, hanging out with him, you know, doing naughty things with minors with him. Sound familiar? Trump, Epstein? Just wait till Ghislaine, whatever her name is. Everybody wants to say Ghislaine. You know, that's fine. You know, it looks like Ghislaine, but that's fine. Maxwell. Couple of years in the hole, I'll bet you she'll rat. She'll sing like a canary. As is all the people that are turning on Gaetz and them. Somebody named Ana Escamana released recorded phone calls of Gaetz and Greenberg. These two dudes on an intercom call, or a three-way call, talking about her lovely features. And the biggest thing about this, speaking of Trump, is Trump is being quiet. Trump isn't saying anything. He's over trying to do some kind of website preserving the family dignity, trying to brainwash anybody and everybody that says we're better than anybody. We're up there and we're nowhere near as immoral. Yeah. Oh, I believe you. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not while you got this Gaetz guy who's best friends with Trump and best friends with Greenberg, who's best friends with Trump also, who was best friends with Epstein, who is real close with Maxwell, so much that everybody's like, well, didn't he said he wishes her well and just turned his back to her? Yeah, he turned his back to her. That was the clue for her to run. But guess what? She got expedited. She's now somewhere in New York State, I think. And she's got up to 4 charges so far against her. You know? She'll rat in due time. The question is, how many more people have to be exposed before the law can actually move in on these guys, Or is this it? Is this part of the MO? Wait till the president is done with his term. Wait till this, and that he can't go back for a second one. Wait for this guy Gates when he's done with his term. And make sure that he's not capable of hiding into some other department of the government. Some agency. Like this Greenberg guy, who's not so much a politician, but he does work in a government agency. So, there's probably, it's my best guess that that's actually what's going on. It's my best guess that that's the reason why. There are loopholes. There are gateways for those that are being charged to weasel their way out of justice and being sought after for those charges against them. And they're taking full advantage of it. That's really the only thing that makes sense. I seriously doubt that it's the law saying, hey, we got evidence against you. That person saying, oh, this is a scam. And then the law saying, oh, he's kind of got us there. This might actually be a scam. I seriously doubt that that's what's going on. But that's the gist of it all. I think that covered everything that I wanted to. The border still requires a little bit more time and effort, which is something that all the critics so far are doing nothing of. Okay? Republicans, they're just downright hating. The liberals, AOC and Sanders, they're not participating at all. They're real great fundraisers, God love them. But now that we've got everything in order, now that the U.S. has got some kind of organizational functioning going on, well, the liberals are just as worthless as the Republicans. Because they're saying, well, there shouldn't be anything organization. You should just open the borders. You should just open all doors and just let them in. Shame on you for trying to do this organizational functionality, well-oiled machine. Shame on you. And honestly, that's just as worthless as the Republicans who are saying, close the borders. Just close them. Don't let anybody in. That doesn't help either. Honestly, the dim-witocrats, not all of them are on board. A lot of them are on board. They're just not doing anything. So it's falling on to Biden, which, in my eyes, as well as everybody out here on the bottom pole, it's actually admirable. Yeah. He's the one doing the work. And anybody down here who's struggling with the high costs of living, we all know guys that are not doing their damn job should be fired. Guys who aren't doing their work. We've seen them. We've seen them. There's always that one that thinks if he could pal around with the boss, he doesn't have as much responsibilities as we do. There's always that business where you have a whole team, say a team of 10, and there's going to be a total of 2 that won't do anything, and it rubs off on the other 6 to where there's now 8 people watching 2 people do the job. We down here, we know that stuff. We in the working class, we see this crap. And that's exactly what we down here in the working class who are struggling every day, who are trying to make ends meet all the time. Somebody that can't even afford, I could probably afford a podcast, but I got work to do. I'm doing this on my lunch break. That's what I'm doing. We see this crap. All of us down here, we see that crap. What we're looking at is everybody finding this excuse, that excuse, and no excuse to just not do anything, while the smallest group of people have all the responsibilities thrown on them. That's what we see down here. Just FYI. And I'm running out of time again. So I'm going to say stay safe out there. We all know the pandemic isn't over. We know that the virus is mutating. It's now made it to California. The various of the COVID-19, it's already went into a different variant that's a little bit more difficult to take out, to kill. And it's spreading. It's reached California, I think San Francisco, I'm not really sure. So it's already here in the U.S. COVID-19, I'm glad y'all got your shots. But, you still got to be safe. Stay safe, okay? And that's pretty much it right there. This is Chris with Chris's Comments. Hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all saw that you're not the only one. I get a lot of people in here. We talk, I listen, and I'm listening to a lot of them spew a bunch of crap, wonder a lot of others, and then I'm looking at other people like you and me that know what's up. It's a bunch of people that are giving BS excuses not to work, while the small number of people have all the responsibilities dumped on them, and they're doing their best to try. That's what's going on. All right, people, y'all take it easy. Happy Monday to you, because that's what this is. It's April 5th, Monday. Y'all take it easy. We'll see you next subject. We'll see you next time. I'm going to be throwing another comment out there. Y'all take it easy and take care. This is Chris with Chris's Comments. Out.